Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you for that introduction, Manisha. Danse Dawia Gakiao Kitadamskat. Hello, how are you? I greet you all. Good afternoon and welcome to our session, Conducting Strength-Based Community-Led Research in Maskwacîs. It is an honor to present on behalf of the Maskwacis Wâhkôhtowin Research Group. The WRG represents a long-standing knowledge-seeking relationship and partnership in Maskwacîs since 2012. The WRG has brought together the University of Alberta, Maskwacîs Health Services, elders, community members who are all passionate about improving maternal health outcomes and rebuilding healthy families in Maskwacîs with the goal of restoring and supporting healthy families in Wâhkôhtowin living a good life. Our research is community-led, strength-based, and it includes elders and community members as experts. No one individual is worth more than another. This is why humility is such a strong Neyaskweyahk Cree value. We believe in a foundation of relationships based on trust, respect, and mutual understanding. Our goal is to develop and evaluate strength-based, community-led, and culturally informed strategies to better support the families in Maskwacîs during preconception, pregnancy, infancy, and early childhood. The WRG has recently transitioned from community-based to community-led research, and that includes having a core WRG team, which includes 4 community researchers from Maskwacîs. So there's myself, I'm the the research coordinator, and I also help to organize the Mom Support and Healing Circle. We have Marisa Saddleback. Her role is community engagement and administrative support, as well as helping to organize the Mom Support and Healing Circle. We have Sonny Lightning. He's not able to join us today because he does have a Deadly Dads meeting. He's a community researcher and he also organizes the Deadly Dad Society. And then we have DeniseY. She's a community navigator and community researcher. We are community members from the neighboring 4 nations of Maskwacîs. So as you know, Maskwacîs is situated on Treaty 6 territory, approximately 50 miles south of Edmonton, and it's made up of 4 First Nations, Ermineskin, Samson, Louisbourg, and Montana. The core team is surrounded by a support team made up of elders, community members from Maskwacîs, academic partners, and MHS. Luwana Listener, nitsikason, Neyaskweyahk. My name is Luwana Listener. I am from Neyaskweyahk, Ermineskin Cree Nation. I have been very blessed to be involved in community-based research with my community, for my community since 2016. The projects I have been involved in include working with mature women's wellness and aging, intergenerational cohesion, Indigenous gender and wellness, pregnancy, and maternal health. I am extremely grateful to be able to conduct community-led research that's strength-based, that uses culture, language, and ceremony to improve the lives, the health, and well-being of Maskwacîs families. Now I will let Marisa and Denise introduce themselves.
Sanse the Wagamaгаnak Ekwa Nito Demtik Kitatamis Kitanawal Kakiawanach Kihilapil Esquel nitsikason nitsikopak ohci. My name is Marisa Saddleback and I'm from Nitsikopak. Greetings to everybody. I do the community outreach and clerical support, and I also help up with the Mom Support and Healing Circle. And I just feel really blessed to be a part of this group, to work in my own community, and to be of service to Maskwacîs. Hi, I'll pass it to Denise.
Danse everyone, my name is DeniseY, DeniseY nitsikason, Neyaskweyahk. So I'm from Ermineskin. I've worked with the Wâhkôhtowin Research Group since 2021. I enjoy working with families and parents and community programs, working on the Maskwacîs Guide. We'll talk about that a bit later on. But yeah, I grew up here, and I currently live in Maskwacîs. And that's me.
Thank you, Denise. So our purpose today, during our session, we will illustrate the strength-based principles by which our group functions, guided by the concept of Wâhkôhtowin. So kinship, we are all related, and illustrate the strategies to conduct strength-based research in First Nation communities, as well as share current community-led research strategies aimed at supporting healthy family systems in Maskwacîs. So what we do is strength-based research. In the past, research with Indigenous communities has mainly been deficit-based. So deficit-based, when you see research through that lens, it just describes what's wrong with an individual or a community. And it's important for us that our research is strength-based. Strength-based approaches seek to move away from that deficit-based research that focuses on what's wrong, on the deficits, on the problems and challenges, and instead it moves towards research with a focus on strengths and well-being. Strength-based research identifies and promotes individual, social, and cultural capabilities for resilience, healing, and well-being. It creates an opportunity for individuals and communities to form and achieve their own solutions based on existing strengths. It's important that we do things differently in Maskwacîs, and we look at the strengths and the solutions that already exist in the community, and that our research is meaningful and it's beneficial for everyone involved. We do this through our 3 research strategies. So we already mentioned the Mom Support and Healing Circle, the Deadly Dad Society, and the Community Guide/Navigator. And these community-led research strategies use strengths that already exist within Maskwacîs, and they are community-led and they're structured on family needs, language, culture, ceremony, and Wâhkôhtowin.
So our Wâhkôhtowin Research Group is guided by these principles. They're really important to the research that we do. So we focus on relationships and trust. So to partner means to have a foundation of authentic and meaningful relationships. So we focus on building trust, reframing Western perspectives, and overcoming long-standing institutional barriers so that trusting relationships are made the focus. Ways in which we do that is through our mom and dad circles, meeting with community partners, and our Healthy Community Advisory Committee. And reciprocity, the research should benefit communities rather than only the researchers. So we seek mutual understanding, two-way learning, and sometimes, most importantly, unlearning. Forgive me, I have my kids in the background. You got to do what you got to do. This also goes for learning within our core group, within community, and within our circle of research partnerships. We use ceremonial thinking, so we place Indigenous voices at the center. Our relationship grows as we meet in a deeper way through mutual respect, vulnerability, compassion, kindness, humility. So all of our values, our Cree values, so that we can transcend like the Western concept of a relationship. Because when you start with ceremony, you bring that into the work that you do in the community. We're community-led and owned, so effective research that improves the well-being of Indigenous peoples cannot be designed by outsiders. We are the knowledgeable experts on issues affecting us. So our core team is made up of Maskwacîs community members, and our community advisory members are from neighboring 4-band communities. Humility, so learning how to get out of your own way, leaving egos at the door, and just making space to acknowledge, explore, and reconcile that we come from different backgrounds, different systems of learning, and different ways of knowing. So we deliberately keep an open mind. and respect each other's perspectives. We willingly accept that our intrinsic ways of viewing the world are not the only way or the right way. So this takes true humility, and it's really important in doing relationship-based research. And we also learn to be flexible and adaptable. So privileging community priorities, because trust takes time. Relationships can't be forced or preconceived in a prescribed timeline. So for example, during our phase 2 research, we're in phase 3 now, we had intentions of taking blood samples as part of our cohort, but the community wasn't ready and they may never be ready, and that's okay. So we adjust what we need to know and how we can serve the best interest of community members. Okay, I'm done that slide, Luwana.
Thank you. Okay, so we have conducting strength-based research in First Nation communities with Marisa.
So how should we, as researchers, start with conducting research in First Nations? What we do is we build trustful, respectful relationships. We are strength-based and community-led. We take feedback from community and implement strategies based on the feedback. We actively meet the community where they're at. If our research is not suitable for community at the time, we accommodate, like Denise had said, and we move at their pace. We become flexible and adaptable to the needs of the community. We seek guidance of elders, knowledge keepers, and the community members. We see community members as experts. We seek accountability and input through our iHealthy, Indigenous Healthy Life Trajectory Initiative, and Community Advisory Committee, made up of the community members and elders from the 4 nations. We make our strategies and research meaningful for everyone. We focus on the strengths of in the community, Neyaskweyahk Cree culture and Neyaskweyahk Cree language, and isLuwana ceremony. And so the next slide. So what we do continued is with our strength-based approach to research, we use both Neyaskweyahk ways of knowing and Western mixed methods of conducting research. We value the different perspectives of seeing how we can use the knowledge we gather to help improve family well-being and health. We build trust with community. We value community engagement. This picture is from the community barbecue we had this past spring. We have had elders tea and more, and we involve community with conversations about how we do research. For example, we had a Hawk radio interview where we interviewed one of the moms from the Mom Support and Healing Circle and one of the elders who were involved with that, and just asked some questions about their experience with the Mom Support and Healing Circle. So meeting the community where they're at, and we make the language meaningful and readable so there is a common understanding. So we're just leaving out the academic jargon so that they can understand. We just really simplify things. So who should the researcher contact? What we do is we start our research and ceremony to ground our work. Respect for ceremony and honoring it from all parties involved is important to our work. So we offer protocol, tobacco, gifts, prints. We connect with community members, elders, knowledge keepers who can guide and teach us. Having community researchers involved is very important to have capacity building from the community. So the next slide. I think it's continued.
Oh,
So
I'll
who
just
should,
say a few, sorry, Marisa. I'll just say
yeah, no
a
worries.
few things about the previous slide. So that people understand, because I don't know if they when we talk about some of the research that we do, sorry, the one with the community barbecue picture. So when we talk about the
Slide
Western
7.
part of the research, I thought I'd just clarify that we do like a mixed methods approach, so quantitative, qualitative. And then we ground our research in like Neyaskweyahk ways of knowing. So we always find those parallels in Cree thought. So one of like our strategies came out of research we did in phase 1 and phase 2. And so when we started doing the qualitative research and we started asking the questions about what families need to have healthy families, what came out of that research wasn't these Cree words, but in other words, like families were describing that they wanted to learn their language, they wanted to go to ceremony, they needed that strength and spirit to become stronger parents. So what we do to be more community led is we find those parallels with the Cree language, and so that's how we come up with a lot of our strategies. And then when we do the research in the community, we don't just ask like whatever questions we feel like asking. We always bring those questions back within our team and within our community advisory committee, just to make sure that we're being respectful to community members. Because oftentimes, if we're not careful of the questions that we ask, we can trigger traumas in the community. So we always have to be mindful of those things. That's all I wanted to add.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you. So who should the researcher contact? The networking with other First Nation community researchers within the community, which we do connect with other researchers in the community, learning from each other through both Western and Neyaskweyahk ways of knowing. So, and we also have contact with elders, program leads, community members who are interested in the research, who are tied to community engagement and relationship building. They would be best resources to help guide researcher with protocol. And so what ceremonies and process is followed to get informed consent? We have ethics approval from the University of Alberta Research Ethics Board, and we create consent forms or consent that is suitable for community. For example, verbal instead of written could be used. Our consent must be readable, understandable, and community appropriate. We review consent forms in a sharing circle, and we have academic partners doing research with Wood Buffalo. They are looking at adopting a visual consent form, being open to different forms of seeking informed consent with goal of having community members know exactly what information is being gathered and used. Transparency is key. We just have to make sure at all times that we are making sure that the community understands what we're explaining and what they're consenting to.
Thank you, Marisa. Okay, so how we implement research in the community. So we have culturally based strategies to support the whole family. So like Denise said earlier, based on our phase 1 and phase 2 research with the community, we use that data to create these 3 research strategies that we talked about. So the Mom Support and Healing Circle, the Deadly Dad Society, and the Community Guide/Navigator. These community-led research strategies use the strengths that exist in the community and are structured on family needs, language, culture, ceremony, and Wâhkôhtowin. Within the iHealthy cohort study, we will be gathering and documenting people's stories to wellness as they journey through these 3 strategies. So the first strategy that we'll talk about is the Mom Support and Healing Circle. So like we said, we created this strategy based on data from the previous phases of our research. So we heard from the community that they wanted, or sorry, I should go back a second. So the Mom Support and Healing Circle was created in response to the needs of family and mothers. So the Elders Mentoring Program began at the Wâtâshkwîn Primary Care Network, where elders offered a safe space for mothers to connect and receive teachings and mentoring related to parenting while they're waiting for their prenatal appointments. And so during COVID, we we gathered information from the community and we found that they wanted this strategy to be more community-based, to have more access and longer access to elders, as well as receiving more teachings. So we created the Mom Support and Healing Circle, and it's 100% community led and community driven. So we gather data after every circle, asking the participants like what they would like to learn, how, like, if they found the circle valuable, and what would they like to see next. So we decided to shift from having those spaces to visit the elders to having this support circle where elders and moms can support each other and receive teachings around culture, language, and ceremony. Marisa, would you like to add something about the Mom Support and Healing Circle?
Yeah. So we offer protocol on behalf of the moms so that they're open to ask questions to the present elders about culture, ceremony, and Cree language. It's a lot of fun, and the moms interacting with one another and the elders, like it's awesome. There's humor shared at times, and I personally get a lot of positive feedback from the moms involved in our healing circles. At one of our previous mom support and healing circle, we had a day of land-based hands-on learning. We had teepee teachings where the moms took part in putting up the teepee. And then we all sat inside the teepee and had elders go through each pole's significant meaning. We sat in a circle and had a smudge and prayer together. The medicine picking afterwards was so nice, and the moms were asking the elders questions and being shown how to put down tobacco, how to pray, and ask for the medicine before picking it. That day we found sage, wild lavender, wild mint, and sweetgrass. The moms were so happy and excited to learn and very grateful and thanking us for the opportunity to take part. And another time we had elders come and share the importance of Cree language, where the moms were taught the history of the Chikbeganak Cree syllabics chart. And we all got to sing the Cree syllabic song together 4 times in a row. And that was such a powerful song to sing together. You could just feel the positive and uplifted energy and the happiness just flow through your body when we're all connected that way. There was a baby in the room, and the baby was just calmed as we sang together. And I get a lot of texts and calls from previous moms who attended to let them know when we're having another one so they can come and learn from the elders. And I think the moms really enjoy getting out of the house and interacting with other moms. Our circles definitely provide a safe and easy-going environment for moms to come unwind and be reminded of our roles as Neyaskweyahk women and mothers.
Thank you, Marisa. Like Marisa said, this circle is a safe space within the community of Maskwacîs for mothers to share and connect with each other, elders, and to learn about ceremony, language, and culture. The purpose of the research and evaluation will be to support the creation of a program and tailor it to the needs and desires of young mothers while gaining a deeper understanding of their parenting experience. So next, I'll talk a little bit about the Deadly Dads Support Society. Like I said, Sonny organizes the Deadly Dads, but unfortunately he's not able to join us because he does have a Deadly Dads meeting this evening. So we have a phrase in Cree, Gista ikimio kosian, which means you two were also gifted. So the Deadly Dad Support Society came out of the research of the phase 1 and 2 research. And we found that families wanted the dads to be more connected with the parenting and be connected with families. So the dads meet every 2 weeks. They have Deadly Dads events like the yearly round dance, and then they also have a yearly Jasper family camp where they bring their families and they stay in teepees and they participate in land-based cultural events. They have land-based activities, others like trail riding, paintballing, golfing, horse therapy, gun safety, and more. We had a grad student. His name is Adam Purificate Fune. He collected stories and he did photo voice to capture the participants' experience. He worked with Deadly Dads until Sonny started leading the group. Photo voice is a way to collect data using pictures and photos that participants take. So it's a really like personal way to for participants to show like the impact of the research. So the Deadly Dads has, like I said, it initially began as a research as it came out from the research, and over time it evolved into something more. The Deadly Dad Society began as a nonprofit last May in 2023, which set the group on a trajectory. And one of our goals for all three of these strategies is sustainability. So the Deadly Dads right now, they're a nonprofit, so they're sustainable. So after the research is done, they'll be able to continue. And it's our goal and dream to have the Mom Support and Healing Circle, as well as the Community Navigator self-sustaining. So once the research is done, we would like these three strategies to still be a part of the community. And I'll pass it over to Denise to talk about the community guide and navigator.
Thanks, Luwana. So one of the strategies that came out of our research was to connect parents to a resource so they know what types of programs are happening in the community. So building the community guide, it really fosters relationships with community members, community partners, and programs. So it builds Wâhkôhtowin. There's so many resources and programs in the Four Nations of Maskwacîs that people may not know about, and we don't seek to recreate programs that already exist, but to connect participants and parents to programs that are meant to help them build healthy families. So the last edition of our guide, you can actually scan it and it'll take you to the guide. And it's a 16-page physical copy of programs in the community, Four Nation programs, our health services, and even outside agencies surrounding the Four Nations, because a lot of the programs, there's gaps in some of the care in the programs. So often you'll have to connect outside of Maskwacîs for some services. But you could also have families that live in Samson and have family members that are from Ermineskin or Louisville, Montana. Maskwacîs is unique in that sense that we always need to consider these things when we're working with families. So it becomes a really important part of the support that they need. I'm currently working on the next edition, so that'll be printed the summer of 2025. So there's a lot of edits we need to make, and programs change often. We're working on getting our website up and running, and so the guide will be part of our website. That'll be constantly updated and available for community members. And then, Marisa, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'll just share a little bit about my experience with helping you with the community guide. So when I was going around Maskwacis to different communities within Maskwacis delivering these books, I was met with some asking questions like if our work is only for one specific community or if everyone's welcome. And it's always nice to interact with the people in each community and let them know that we want to hear from them and that they're all welcome equally. Going to all different agencies and organizations to interact with the people personally, I was always met with big smiles and gratefulness for the free community guide that has all the resources for families in one book. I had people tell me that this is such a great idea, and I've made a lot of meaningful connections with individuals in all four nations of Maskwacis. And I just want to say that everything we do has a connection to building trust and relationships, and I think that is so important.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Marisa. Marisa,
So
did you want to do this slide or you want me
Oh,
to
yeah, sorry.
present this?
So cultural
That's okay.
ceremony and Neyaskweyahk Cree language connections. Culture, ceremony, and language connection for youth and families was prevalent in all feedback from parents, families for creating overall family wellness. Community members spoke of the need to reconnect youth to culture, language, and ceremony as a source for restoring healthy family systems. They also named the need for teachings related to Wâhkôhtowin, good child rearing, land connection, and ceremony. Our Mom Support and Healing Circle, Deadly Dads, and Community Guide program will continue to support this connection and learning. I just want to say that we practice all three aspects in everything we do for our research. It is important to have very intentional choices surrounding the Cree culture, language, and ceremony when we're in the planning spaces and all of our interactions with each other and the community of Maskwacîs. We are very blessed to have the opportunity to honor the Neyaskweyahk way and very blessed to be a part of this community that is very rich in traditional ways of knowing and being. And there are many elders and knowledge keepers that are respectfully in our network that we have a high regard for. It is so important for us to maintain the meaningful relationships surrounding culture, ceremony, and Neyaskweyahk Cree language. And doing this work is very meaningful in so many ways. I just wanted to share that this is a mother of eight, and I think I'll hand it off to Denise for this part so you can explain the quote.
Sure. So during our phase 2 research, we reached out to some of the moms that we worked with at the PCN in Ponoka and Wetaskiwin. So this is the mom I actually interviewed. And it was about a 2-hour interview. And it was really organic and really rich because she actually had a lot of knowledge to share. So this is just a snapshot of what she shared with us about culture. And it's actually a teaching she got from her dad. So there's moments where you can really connect with community members and you can capture that in research. And qualitative research can be really meaningful. And research doesn't have to have this like really sciencey kind of only information and statistics. Like you can really shape it and use it as a tool to help families and people in the community. Um, yeah, that's all I have to add.
So I'll just read the quote. So that's how come culture is so important because it acknowledges our ancestors, the ones who are here before us. So without culture, we got nothing to stand on because there's nothing behind us supporting us. It's like that backbone, that spine that you have. You need something to support that, and that is that root. So the culture brings you to your roots. It keeps you tied to that root. So that way, when you go out into the world, you know where your roots come from. Except.
thank you, Marisa. So our closing remark is by working together equitably and developing trusting and Wâhkôhtowin respectful relationships, we can transform Indigenous health research and move beyond the unique challenges that Indigenous peoples encounter by identifying and highlighting the strengths and resilience within communities and incorporating these into relevant, meaningful solutions. So we would like to thank the communities and peoples of Maskwacîs, our academic support team, our amazing elders, our iHealthy Community Advisory Committee members, past research team members, community partners, and also our additional partners. And we will open it up for questions. So I will stop sharing and then we can ask questions.